Welcome back, everybody. This Week in America, website thisweekinamerica.us. As mentioned, back on our program today, Dr. Susan Smith-Jones certainly made an extraordinary contribution in the field of holistic health, anti-aging, optimum nutrition, balanced living. She taught students, staff, and faculty at UCLA how to be healthy and fit for 30 years. Susan is the founder and president of Health Unlimited, a Los Angeles-based consulting firm dedicated to optimal wellness, health education, and human potential. She is the author of 25 best-selling books, including Recipes for Health Bliss, The Joy Factor, and Walking on Air, your 30-day inside and out rejuvenation makeover. Her website is very simple, SusanSmithJones.com. You can log on to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, and click on directly to the website. Talking today about healthy eating tips, simple lifestyle changes to prevent weight gain, fatigue, and depression during the holidays. Dr. Susan, welcome back to the program. Great to have you with us.
Thanks, Rick, and happy holidays. I love this topic we're doing today.
Well, it is so important, and when I'm talking about weight gain, fatigue, and depression, some people think it's almost inevitable. At least 2 out of those 3 are going to happen to me during the course of the holiday season. And you're saying, what, with a little planning and common sense, it doesn't have to.
Yeah, that's right. There was some news clips on last week saying that many people will gain about 5 pounds over the holidays, but I know people that gain at least double that over the holidays.
Yes.
And in the last month and a half, I've had so many people come to my private practice and say, Susan, I'm worried about the holidays. I don't want to welcome in the new year being heavier and depressed and no energy. What can you advise? So these are all the things that I'm suggesting today with you, today and next time.
Yeah, we're going to do 2 parts on this. So we get you up into the holidays. We'll get you sort of at the tail end of the holidays and give you a platform to launch off for the new year. And everything that we're talking about today is on Susan's website, SusanSmithJones.com. I know the first thing that you say, it all starts with setting the right tone every day. Something we've talked about. It is so simple, yet for many of us, it may be too simple. We just overlook it and jump right into the day, usually about 5-10 minutes later than we want to start the day. What are you talking about, the right tone? What do we need to do to get off on the right foot?
Well, remember that the first 40 minutes of the day sets the tone for the day. So right when you wake up in the morning, you don't want to be harried and frenzy and stressed out and no time for breakfast. You want to be relaxed and peaceful, and even if you have kids, there are things you can do the night before, like set the breakfast table. Maybe you make the kids lunches. Maybe you get your clothes out that you're going to work out in the morning so you don't need to think about it. And, this is sort of like refreshing in the morning. It's a wonderful time of the day to reset, refresh, and that will set the tone for the day. So remember how important those first 40 minutes are. I work out in the morning, I meditate, and I also visualize my day the way I want it to be.
The 11 tips we're going to talk about, and we'll get to some of those, not all of those today, but they're available along with a couple of bonus tips at the website, SusanSmithJones.com. And number 1, and we've read about this and talked about this before, eat frequently and don't skip meals. So many people, if they're going to have a party they're going to at 8 o'clock, it's like, okay, I'm going to do the smart thing and not eat dinner tonight because I'm going to be eating something later. That's really a bad thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a healthy thing to do, because a common strategy, especially during the holidays, is to skip breakfast and lunch because you know that big meal is coming or the big party.
Yes.
So you save up the calories for the celebration. And this strategy always backfires because you come to the meal starving and you wind up eating way more than you ever intended. So eating frequently throughout the day on healthy foods helps to eliminate hunger, which will prevent overeating. It stabilizes your blood sugar, and even a small meal of something is better than nothing at all, because when you eat those small meals throughout the day called grazing, it literally stokes your metabolism, which means you'll burn more calories.
It's interesting because so many people think if I skip a meal, I'm going to be okay. And study after study has shown that if you skip a meal, you're going to make up for that and then some later on during the day.
That's right.
So really don't skip the meal. That's not good strategy. Eat frequently throughout the day. And part of that, you talk about healthy snacks, especially when you're shopping, you're in the car, you're going to get hungry, you're going to get bored, probably in the car being backed up in traffic. What are some healthy snacks that are portable that you can take with you?
Yes. Now, I was a Girl Scout. Were you a Boy Scout?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so our motto was to be prepared.
Yes.
So if you're going to go out roaming the mall for hours or sitting in holiday traffic, that usually leaves everybody starving and vulnerable to the usually bad fast food choices. But if you come prepared to roam around with some crunchy, healthy snacks like apples, tangerines, oranges, celery, carrots, whatever, a few nuts and raisins, you'll be less likely to succumb to the call of the food court or the fast food restaurant. So you just never know how long you're going to be out. Don't be caught hours and hours without having something healthy to eat.
You know, I knew better, but I was hoping when you said you were a Girl Scout, you were going to suggest we take cookies with us when we go out. But that obviously, I was hopeful, and
I'm sorry.
Knew I was going to get shot down on that. When our guest on the program is Susan Smith-Jones, Dr. Susan Smith-Jones, website susansmithjones.com. I mentioned you've got over 25 books out there, and we're flashing on you can go to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, link on to Dr. Susan's website, and see our programs on YouTube. Go to the YouTube channel, and we're going through some of the books that you had written. Where can they get these books? We've had people ask that, and I know that they can also get autographed copies of some of the books.
Yeah, here's something special I've just posted on my website. So if you go to the home page and you scroll halfway down, you'll see 3 different options of my different books. And whatever option you pick, you get a set of 3. Each set, Rick, comes with my entire series of 7 natural remedy booklet CD combos, absolutely free. And all of these books will be autographed by me and sent to you at your home or your office. So they make wonderful Christmas gifts or any type of holiday gift or just the new year, especially my Walking on Air, which is the 30-day inside and out rejuvenation makeover. That's a book that you love, that everyone wants to have by the 1st of January, so you can begin the 30-day program, and I guarantee you that you'll be looking and feeling 10 to 15 years younger at the end of the 30 days.
The first show we ever did was talking about that book,
That's
Walking
right.
on Air, Your 30-Day Inside and Out Rejuvenation Makeover. They all have such great information. They're very, very easy to read. Walking on Air, basically you take everybody's hand and you go through, and if you just each day add something different in the book, and it gives you exercises and things that you can do. And all of a sudden, you know, your life has changed after the first week. You can actually feel and see the results. That's called Walking on Air, Your 30-Day Inside and Out Rejuvenation Makeover. Dr. Susan's website is susansmithjones.com. Go to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, and link on as well. We're talking about how to prevent weight gain, fatigue, and depression during the holidays. It's interesting, and we've touched on this. Eat something before you go out. And again, everything is based on social activities. We've got company parties, we've got friends, we've got family, that type of thing. And we try to save a few calories so we can eat later. And again, you're saying that that's a problem. You really need to eat something before you go out.
Yeah, you really do, because you don't want to arrive at any big dinner or holiday party feeling famished. And those foods that you know aren't good for you, that you will be eating some of over the holidays, let's face it, but
Yes.
they're harder to resist when you arrive starving and your blood sugar level is low. So an ounce of prevention goes a long way here. An hour before you leave or arrive at a party, have something small. It could be a cup of vegetable soup or a glass of tomato juice, vegetable juice, maybe some whole grain toast with some almond butter on it. But if you just do this about an hour before a big holiday dinner or party, you'll watch your willpower soar as your waistline stays in place.
You know, you go with that mindset that okay, I've eaten, I'm really not going to eat something, and 2 things can happen. One, you get sort of near the food, and you sort of gravitate, and it's like, okay, that's really looking good now. And the other is everybody is saying, what, you're not hungry? You don't like our food? You know, here's something to eat.
Right.
So you got people forcing you with a plate of something. Should you stay away from the food if you're going to talk to somebody? At least have your back to the food, so
Yeah,
you're not staring the
it.
shrimp bowl for all night long.
I mean, putting a little distance between you and the food creates a necessary obstacle between you and calories, and besides, you'll have to walk a little bit more to go back and forth between the food and where you're hanging out, and this will burn extra calories.
And how do we handle this when there's this sort of a social responsibility to eat while you're there? And believe me, if you don't have a plate in your hand and a cup in your hand, they think something's wrong with you. How do we avoid that eating to be social? I mean, can we pick up a plate or get a cup and not put put 7-Up in it instead of a drink? How do we go about acting like we're social without eating socially and mindlessly?
Well, I do say try to avoid eating just because everybody around you is eating. And if you're not really hungry, you can still put some things that are low calorie so you don't stand out with no plate or a near empty plate. You can nibble on vegetables. You can sip on something low calorie if that makes you feel more comfortable to hold something in your hand. But remember, all good willpower and good intentions go out the window if you arrive at the party very hungry.
So you really need to have eaten something before you get to the party. And you talk about watch out for processed carbs. Exactly what are the foods that if we're there and we're gonna snack a little bit, what are the ones that we absolutely positively should avoid?
And they're everywhere. Like white bread, crackers made with white flour, chips. You know, they aren't always sweet, but they're mostly high in refined starch, which converts to sugar in the body so quickly. And with little to no fiber to slow its release into the system, it can end up as stored fat so quickly on your body. You know, it's always good to sequence your food. You don't arrive hungry, and if there's anything with high fiber in it they're offering, go eat that first. It's like going to an Italian restaurant. Don't let them bring the bread and butter and the pasta. First have a bowl of soup or a salad. Then you won't be as hungry for those more processed carbs that might be coming next.
You're listening to This Week in America. Our website is thisweekinamerica.us. Our guest on the program, Dr. Susan Smith-Jones. Her website is susansmithjones.com. You can log on directly to our website and go to to Dr. Susan's website. Her book's website, popular digital seminar series entitled Renew Your Life, is available only through her website. It's like having a holistic health app for anything related to superfoods, optimal nutrition, weight loss, anti-aging, rejuvenation, natural remedies, and balanced living. SusanSmithJones.com. You've got an excellent newsletter. What can we look for in the current issue of the newsletter?
Oh, this latest one, it's the November-December issue. First of all, because it's the holiday time, I have lots of gifts in the newsletter. You download them. One of the gifts is a beautiful full-color cookbook that you'll get free with recipes and positive affirmations. And it's not even a vegan cookbook. It's from the Inn at Unity Village, a famous full-color cookbook. And I wrote lots of positive affirmations to go with the different recipes. So you've got that. I've got all these tips we're talking about today, but in much more detail. And I've got wonderful gifts. I give you recommendations for the best gifts to give for the holiday time to yourself and to people in your family and your friends. I tell you how to prevent and heal hangovers naturally. I talk about, the best water, the best lifestyle, things you can do to live a more balanced life. Just lots of great free information right there on the homepage. Click on November-December newsletter.
Yeah, we're talking about tips that will get you through the holiday, preventing weight gain, fatigue, and depression. One thing you talk about, and we've mentioned this before, and I'm going to go back to this for a second, is plan ahead. How exactly should we do that? Are there things that we can do ahead of time to prevent overeating? I think you've touched on some, but these are so important. I mean, that's sort of like the cornerstone for getting through the holidays without putting on an extra 5 or 10 pounds.
And you know what? 2 things we've talked about before. One is a superfood called Hawaiian spirulina. And long story short, in a clinical study I did last year with over 100 people over 3 months, and they took 3 grams a day of the Hawaiian spirulina in tablet or powder form, and everybody in my study lost 1 to 3 pounds weekly, and everyone said that it helped prevent overeating and it curbed their appetite and took away processed carb cravings. So, right there on my homepage where it says 2 must-have superfoods, You'll learn about the Hawaiian spirulina and the Hawaiian astaxanthin, how much to take, and how to get a 25% discount through the end of the year. Now, there's a third thing I also take, and I've never talked to you about this before, and you can get lots of detail about it right there in my navigation bar. Go to Favorite Products, scroll down to Blue Magic. It's a pure phycocyanin, which is one of nature's most potent healers on the planet. I tell you all about it. I've taken it for years. It's an amazing superfood product.
Interesting. All that information available at the website, and there is so much great information there at SusanSmithJones.com. As always the case, rapidly running out of time. I want to talk about, we've, again, discussed this before, but in the context of the holidays, making sleep a priority. You also talk about relaxation, exercise, and water. Talk about how they all go together, and that's really, again, those are keys to getting through the holiday season.
Yes. Well, without a doubt, if you don't get enough sleep, that causes your body to crave foods that aren't good for you and primes your body to hold on to all the calories you eat. So get enough sleep. If you don't drink enough water, it slows down your metabolism, which means you burn fewer calories. And check out my blog. It's either the first or the second blog. There's an entire article on water that I wrote. And then either the first or second one, the other one's on saunas. And lots of people don't exercise as much during the holiday. And this is one, I know it's pricey, and I've had a good sauna for 20 years. But if you can save up, and you know I don't sell any products, but the company that makes the best sauna, infrared sauna in the world, is offering free shipping, so you're saving about $450 there, wow, and $500 off the purchase of a personal infrared sauna. And the sauna and my alkaline water machine and my Vitamix blender are three of the most important products that I have in my home to keep me healthy. I take saunas several times a week to keep my weight down, to keep my skin glowing, to take pain out of my joints and muscles, to make me look years younger than my age. So this is, and all of this info and about how to exercise and stay motivated is in my November-December newsletter right on my homepage.
And that's available at SusanSmithJones.com. Our guest on the program is Dr. Susan Smith Jones. You're listening to This Week in America, website thisweekinamerica.us. In the final couple minutes of the program, I want to go back to sleep. And you talk to people, and when you go through it yourself, do you find that when you get less sleep than you need, and we talk about depression during this time of year, does that leave you more emotionally vulnerable when you're not getting enough sleep?
Oh, it always does. You know, when you get less sleep at night, and we're not talking about 1 or 2 nights a month, but we're talking about chronic sleep debt. It increases the level of a hormone in your body called cortisol. It messes up all the other hormones in your body like serotonin, and it makes you very, very depressed and prone to eating, like I just said, foods that are not good for you.
Right.
And it takes away all willpower. So not only during the holidays, but year-round, you've got to make getting good sleep absolutely non-negotiable. I was just in Ireland on a media tour in the UK, and in my little B&B there, they had a plaque in the lobby, an Irish saying that said, "A good laugh and a long sleep are the best cures in the doctor's book." Sleep is when your body heals. It's when we reset our appetite control and pain control. It's when our energy regroups for the day to come. You can't skimp on sleep and ever expect to be vibrantly healthy.
All this information available at Dr. Susan's website, SusanSmithJones.com. Information, of course, and you can link on directly at our website, thisweekinamerica.us. And you always point out, this is not about being perfect. It's about doing the best you can. And that's what, hopefully, we're giving you enough tips that you can go in that direction. And we will have Dr. Susan back before the holidays to pick up on the 11 points. Always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us on the program. A lot of great information there. You're welcome.
Happy holidays.
Thank you. Same to you. We will be back with Dr. Susan in a couple of weeks and pick up on that list. You're listening to This Week in America, website thisweekinamerica.us.